Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel Chemistry Quest. Today we are going to start polymer chapter. In this video we will be discussing the basic terms related to polymers and classification of polymers. So let's get started. First we should know what is a monomer and what is a polymer. So, monomer is basically a basic unit of a big polymeric chain. So, here in this example, you can see this is a monomer, and example we have taken is CH2 double bond CH2, that is a ethene molecule. When ethene molecule is undergo some condition of temperature and pressure, it undergoes polymerization and form a polymer, and the name becomes polyethene. This whole process is known as polymerization. Polymerization. So basically, monomer is the building block of a big long polymeric chain. And this polymer has these monomeric units. Suppose this is 1A, this is B, and this is held together by a covalent bond. This is about monomer and polymer, and this process is known as polymerization. Next, we have to study about the classification of polymers. There are different ways of classifying polymers. So first is the based on source. So based on source, we have to classify polymers such as first is natural polymers, second is synthetic polymers, and third is semi-synthetic polymers. Students, we have to remember the names of polymers as well as their examples and their structures. So first we will study about the natural polymers. So, what are natural polymers? Natural polymers are found in nature. They are obtained from natural surroundings. Example, protein is found in human body as well as plant body, and cellulose is found in the cell wall of plants, starch and rubber. These are all polymers. They are found in nature. So, man has no role in the production of these polymers. They are naturally found in nature. These are natural polymers. Next, we have to study about the synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers are those polymers which are man-made. So, we all have seen plastics around us. So, plastic is example is polythene, and fibers. Example is nylon 6. Clothes are made of fibers, and some rubbers. Example Buna S. These are all man-made polymers. They are used in daily life as well as in industry. Next, we have to study about the semi-synthetic polymers. Semi-synthetic polymers have the combination of natural polymer plus synthetic polymer. Some changes are made in the natural polymers and they are synthesized in the laboratories. They are known as semi-synthetic polymers. Example is cellulose acetate, and common name is rayon, and cellulose nitrate. Next, we have to study the classification of polymers based on the structure. So, there are three types of polymers based on structure. First is the linear polymer, and second is the branch chain polymer, and third is cross-linked or network polymer. So, linear polymers, the polymeric chains are linearly arranged. There is no intermolecular forces in between. They are held by weak molecular forces. So, example is HDPE, high density polythene. PVC is polyvinyl chloride, and polyesters. Branch chain molecules. Here, there are linear chains are present with have some branches. Example, LDPE, low density polythene. Cross-linked or network polymers are bakelite and melamine. In this, two interconnections have been made between the chains. So, cross-linking is done by the hydrogen bonding or some other bond. So, these are the three types of polymers based on the structure. So, till now we have studied about the classification of polymers based on source and based on structure. Now we have to study the classification of polymers based on the mode of polymerization, like how the polymerization has been carried out. So, first is the addition polymers. Addition means simply A is getting added to A, and finally it is forming A and A. So, addition is polymer is also known as the chain growth polymerization. Chain growth polymerization. Example polythene we will discuss later in more detail. Second, in condensation polymer. Condensation polymers are examples are terylene, that is Dacron. This is the common name, nylon 6 and nylon 66. We will be studying all these polymers in great detail, especially with their diagrams, their structures, and their uses. Condensation polymers, they are formed by the removal of some important molecules like water, alcohol from the monomeric units, and then these polymers are formed. So here removal of some small molecules take place, such as water or alcohol or ammonia sometimes. So that is why they are known as condensation polymers. Other name of condensation polymer is step growth. Step growth. Step growth polymerization. Now next we will study addition polymers in detail. Example we have already seen in the previous slide, but still it is a revision. So this is a ethylene molecule, CH2, double bond CH2. So in polymerization process, the double bonds changes to single bond and the polymer is polyethene. This is the way of representation. So next is the condensation polymers. This is a little tricky and it is very easy, but we have to remember some things like condensation polymers. First, we have to remember the names of monomers. So these reactants are monomers. So this is CH2 6. So this name is hexamethylene diamine, hexamethylene diamine, and this is common name is adipic acid, or the IUPAC name is hexane, hexane 1, 6 dioic acid. This is the name of the monomers. We have to remember the names of the monomers, otherwise we cannot proceed with this chapter. And these are the monomers. So this is monomer, this is monomer, and this is also a monomer. Two monomers are there, and the temperature is 553 Kelvin, and pressure is high pressure. And so here what happens is this OH molecule is removed, and it reacts with this hydrogen of amine group, and water molecule is removed. So it forms a bond like this. This is nylon 6. Why 6? Because 6 carbons are present in the monomer adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. So there are 6 are the number of carbons. They are the number of carbon atoms, and water is the byproduct. So this is about the condensation polymers, and the other name of condensation polymer is step growth, step growth polymerization, step growth polymerization. And now we will study the classification of polymers based on molecular forces. So to study the classification based on molecular forces, we have to remember the different types. First is the elastomers. Elastomers, second is fibers, third is thermosetting, and fourth is thermoplastic polymers. We can give the numbering in the way we want. So first we have to study about the elastomers. As the name suggests, elasticity. So elastomers is the type of polymer in which the intermolecular forces are very weak. So we can stretch them easily. Examples are Buna S, Buna N, and neoprene. These are all rubbers, because rubbers only we can stretch. So these are all rubbers. These are elastomer polymers. Fibers are mainly clothes. So examples is polyesters and polyamides. So these are example of polyesters. We can see the figure of clothes. It's a type of fiber, different type of fibers. Next, we have to study about the thermoplastic polymers. So there is a trick in thermoplastic and thermosetting polymers. These two polymers are very confusing. So we have to study both and keep in mind that we should not confuse with the examples. So thermoplastic, as we already know that, suppose this is an example of suppose this is an example of a plastic bucket I am making. We all know that if plastic bucket is heated, the symbol is of heat, so it will become a solid mass, and it solidifies on cooling, it melts on heating, and hardens on. And if it is cooled, this mass is cooled, so it becomes hardened. This is the speciality of thermoplastic polymers. So example is HDPE, high density polyethylene, and low density polythene. These are the thermoplastic polymers. So neither very strong nor very weak. They have no cross links between the chains. This is about the thermoplastic polymers. Now we have to study about the thermosetting polymers. Thermosetting is a different type of polymer. In this thermosetting type of polymer, they cannot be, they cannot be reused or remolded after heating. So example is bakelite. Bakelite is a common polymer found in switches of electric boards, and this is a melamine for urea formaldehyde resin. So this is about the thermosetting polymer. Next, we have to study about the homopolymer and copolymer. The two terms are remaining. Homopolymer, homo word we know that homo means similar. So in homopolymer, the monomer is the single monomer, it polymerized to form the polymer. The example in neoprene, the monomer is chloropene. Okay. Next, we have to study about the copolymer. Copolymer has two monomers. Example 1,3-butadiene and styrene. This is a monomer 1 and this is a monomer 2. They undergo polymerization to form a polymer. Buna S. This is copolymerization. So this is all for today's video. If you like the video, please like it, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and have a nice day.